Sometimes I find myself inside this loop, and this seems to be way too often. For the past 2 years, I have been an artist. Almost every single day these past 2 years, once I'm back from school or work, I made the time to draw the characters inside my head and to bring my ideas to fruition inside the real world. At least that's what I wanted to do. Instead, I get this flush of anxiety, this flush of worry that I can't draw anything. I'm not good enough yet. I look at that white canvas and I just think I can't be the person I want to be yet. I can't be Scalia. So what do I do instead? Well, I would scroll through my phone, scroll through Instagram, scroll through TikTok, looking at so many artists who are way better than me. And not to mention a bunch of cute Korean girls that I say that I'm gonna draw. But we all know that's probably a massive cope. Social media is the vehicles we were all meant to use to connect us. For artists, it should be used as a method for us to gain inspiration from others. All these awesome artists are making such cool stuff. Fan art of characters, creators, OCs, famous artists like Ross Draws, Ethan Becker, and Sam Does Arts. Especially Sam Does Arts, because his style is crazy, dude. So if you spent as much time within the self-improvement sphere as me, you do know that social media and its downsides is a big pillar of discussion, and that we know that social media seems to be like an excellent place for inspiration, but at the same time we know that it's a huge breeding ground for comparison. So for the past 2 years, I have been posting more on Instagram. Well, not exactly, it's we're coming up to that point, but posting on social media has been a great motivator to improve my skills. When I started back in 2020, I didn't really know what direction I had to go in to actually make my goals happen. I was just drawing because I wanted to learn. I had these characters inside my head that I wanted to visualize, and I needed a method how. This was back when I first finished my novel, and I decided that I wanted to make it into a cartoon, like a superhero cartoon. And you know how the superhero cartoons are made. Well, you have to make a comic book first. So back then I had no goal, but I still decided to post on Instagram. So I think it was like December 23rd, 2020. I posted my first photo, and it's pretty bad looking back at it. Yeah. I was really bad at proportions and, humans in general. I just can't draw for anything. But posting on Instagram gave me this sense of progression. Now, I won't hold you too much longer for the purpose for this video. Places like Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, things like that. They're great platforms for artists to expand yourself, but at the same time, they're double-edged swords. So let me explain. They can be great within the sense that you want to share your work with the world. You can find your style, hold yourself to a deadline to keep yourself on track. And for me especially, to build your audience of people who actually like what you do, so you can actually sell them stuff for the future. The negative side for social media would be that you'll constantly be bombarded with people who are better than you. And as much as people want to deny it for the modern world, we kind of have to compare each other to ourselves. That's how humans are. That's how we know where we are within the hierarchy of people. We need to compare ourselves to someone else. How will we know if we're bad artists if we don't know what people are doing, right? I would like to be on the same level as David Finch. How would I know that if I didn't compare myself to him? Now, the comparison aspect gets unhealthy once we start to hold ourselves to that standard that we don't know yet, right? Because we can't hold ourselves to a new standard when, for example, you want to learn how to paint like Sam Does Arts, for example, and you don't really know what lighting is, and he gets lighting perfectly. Now, not perfectly maybe, but he knows lighting in such a intricate way that you don't know yet. So you should start with the basics of lighting to get to a similar level to how he is, right? Now, when you hold yourself to this impossible standard, I think the worst part of social media for artists can come in, which is social media paralysis. Now, paralysis is when you sit down to draw, so then you want to create something, but you don't. Instead, you scroll through Instagram, you scroll through TikToks, like those funny art TikToks of people, like with like the funny sounds or whatever. You scroll through Pinterest for references, hours and hours and hours of scrolling and trying to find, what's this pose? Let's find this pose, right? But you don't get a lick of work done. So then you say to yourself, oh, I'm like so inspired. No, you haven't done jack. What have you done? You drew maybe one sketch, but the head looks wrong, the legs look horrible. Like, just what are you doing? This is the biggest negative. You're wasting your time. So as an artist, you don't really have much time. Now, this won't really make sense here, but I hope this does, soon. In that I sometimes when I tell people this, that if I had really rich parents, I would probably major in like film or like animation or something, because I see that as a good opportunity, because like the high level art schools are really good for these things. But I don't have rich parents, if I'm being completely honest. I knew I had to go to college. I knew I had to go to college for something else, to make me money first. But let's forget that point. The point is that for an artist, you will most likely have to live a double life for a while. You won't make money from your art for a long time, so you have to use your time wisely. That short, like 4 hours of time once you get back home from your job, it has to be rationed and then used in such a way where you can actually use it conducively for your craft. Not saying you should kill yourself for your art, take breaks, from my last video, see friends, see family, see new people that you are attracted to, things like that. But trust me, you'd rather use that 30 minutes of free time to work on sketches, to work on, the studies for your art, to work on your story, things like that, than, just scroll through TikTok for 30 minutes to that extends 2 hours. Then you realize it's, 12 o'clock at night, and you plan to get up at, 5:30 or 6 a.m. Now, social media is not all bad. I've mentioned some poor decisions that you can make with social media, but you should not fall victim to that paralysis. Rather, you should be focused on the purpose for social media for an artist, which is to use it as a leveraging platform. Now, places like Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok should be used to leverage yourself and to build a fan base for yourself. These apps should be the vehicle for people to stumble onto your content and be like, wow, dude, this guy has some cool characters. This guy has a cool art style. This guy paints backgrounds really good. This guy has a comic going on. Wow, that sounds really interesting. So let's follow him. Let's subscribe. Let's watch his videos. Let's see what's going on, right? And then so ultimately, you want people to follow you so that they like you for your art, or better yet, for yourself, for your personality, right? So then you'll build a fan base who actually like you. So then they'll purchase the stuff that you eventually release for the future, such as comics, prints, books, novels, whatever you want to sell. So the goal shouldn't be just a social media artist. Now, you can just post on Instagram, but you can just keep posting and do fan arts, do Inktober, things like that. But for me, it's not. I have planned to make a whole studio production. Now, I won't, share more, because I'm pretty sure, you're not supposed to do that, I guess. Share your goals and stuff like that. But I don't want to be a social media artist forever. I don't want to just be known as the guy who was on Instagram. I want to be something great. not just the dude that posted his characters on Instagram forever and didn't really do much with it. But the first step for my goal, it may not be your goal, but it's my goal. The first step would be I need people to like what I'm doing. I hope you like this video. This was a topic that I have had the idea for a while, because I get into this way too much. Like, there's been countless times just a day where I spend way too much time scrolling, and it's just annoying, because I feel like that I am being productive when you're really not, because you're looking at people's art, you're looking at inspiration, but you're not really doing anything with that time, and it's such wasted time that's used for your phone when you could be drawing and actually doing stuff with this and not just looking at YouTube all day. Like, you need purpose within your time. So I hope that makes sense. I've actually been liking to make these videos, so I hope that helps. But I've said this before, and I'll say this again. Know the truth, speak the truth. It's Scalia, signing off.